Okay, think about Hercules. Like right now, what do you see? Probably this huge, solitary figure, right? A total one-man army? But what if I told you that iconic image, the one we all have in our heads, is missing, well, half the story?
No, I'm serious. Picture it. Hercules fighting some crazy monster doing one of his 12 labors. Is there anyone standing beside him? For almost everyone, the answer is a big nope. It's just him, the lone wolf hero, taking on the world by himself. Well, the thing is, the actual myths, the historical truth, tells a completely different story. Hercules had a partner, an absolutely indispensable partner, someone so crucial to his success, so central to his entire life, that the fact we've forgotten him is just wild. So today, let's talk about the man history forgot, Iolaus.
So, who was this guy? Well, first off, Iolaus was Hercules' nephew, but he was also his most loyal squire and, get this, his personal charioteer. And he wasn't just some guy polishing the armor or waiting by the chariot. No way. He was an active participant, right there in the thick of things for a bunch of those famous 12 labors.
And their most famous team-up? It happened during a moment of pure, absolute crisis. I'm talking about the Lernaean Hydra. You know, that giant monstrous serpent with all the heads that grow back? Yeah, that one. And for the first time, Hercules was losing. He was getting completely overwhelmed. Okay, so here's how it went down. Hercules does what he does best, right? He goes in with pure brute force, starts lopping off heads, but oops, for every head he cuts off, 2 more grow back. The situation is getting worse fast. And that's when Iolaus jumps in. He sees his uncle, his hero, is in deep trouble. So he grabs a torch, and with some incredible quick thinking, he comes up with a plan. As Hercules slices, Iolaus darts in and cauterizes the neck stump with fire, searing it shut so no new heads can grow. It's Iolaus's brains, not just Hercules' brawn, that saves the day. And if you need any more proof of how vital Iolaus was, get this. The king who assigned the labors, this petty guy named Eurystheus, actually declared the labors void. He said it didn't count. Why? Because Hercules had help. His argument was, you didn't do it alone. And you know what? He was absolutely right. Hercules couldn't have done it alone. But this incredible teamwork on the battlefield, it was forged by something much, much deeper. And to really get it, to understand the relationship, we have to kind of set aside our modern labels and step into the world of ancient Greece. See, in their world, there was this concept called Erastus and Eromenos. It was a huge part of what they called heroic education. Basically, it was a socially accepted, even celebrated, relationship between an older mentor, the Erastus, and a younger, beloved, the Eromenos. And it was this whole package deal. It combined teaching, deep companionship, and yes, romantic love. So let's break this down. Where we today might see just uncle and nephew or hero and sidekick, the ancient Greeks saw something more complex. They saw both. They were family, and they were a celebrated couple. It wasn't one or the other. Iolaus wasn't some secondary character. He was Hercules' most important partner, period.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Is this for real, or is this just some modern reinterpretation? And that's a fair question, but the answer is, nope, not at all. The evidence for this is written plain as day in the historical record.
Let's start with a big one. The famous historian Plutarch. Writing back in the 1st century, he wrote this whole dialogue about the nature of love. And in it, he does not beat around the bush. He straight up names Iolaus as one of Hercules' male lovers, even calling him the hero's darling.
And it wasn't just Plutarch. Go back even further, generations earlier, and you find the philosopher Aristotle, the Aristotle. He also recorded a really powerful, long-standing tradition all about their relationship, and it was centered in one of the most powerful city-states in all of Greece. And that city was Thebes. This is where their story gets even bigger, because in Thebes, their relationship wasn't just some private thing. It became a foundational part of the entire culture, and even its legendary military.
Check this out. Iolaus was buried in Thebes, and his tomb was placed right next to Hercules' own shrine. This spot became a sacred site. For centuries, literally centuries, male couples would travel there on a pilgrimage to swear their vows of lifelong loyalty to each other. They used Hercules and Iolaus as their divine example of love and devotion. and this deep respect for their bond. It wasn't just symbolic. It directly inspired the creation of one of the most elite, most feared military units in the entire ancient world. 150. What's that number? That was the number of couples, 150 pairs of lovers who together formed this incredible fighting force. They were called the Sacred Band of Thebes, an army made up entirely of 150 pairs of male lovers. And where did they swear their oaths of allegiance? Right at Iolaus' shrine. The thinking behind it was both simple and brilliant. Who are you going to fight harder for than the person you love standing right next to you? It was believed they would never retreat, never surrender. Their love was literally weaponized.
But Iolaus' devotion wasn't just about fighting side by side in a battle or two. It was absolute. His loyalty to Hercules was for life, and as we're about to see, even beyond that.
So after Hercules' tragic death, it was Iolaus who performed the final act of love, lighting the hero's funeral pyre. But his job wasn't done, not by a long shot. He then dedicated the rest of his life to protecting Hercules' family, his children. He led them to find a new home in Sardinia to keep them safe, and the story goes that even as an old man, he picked up his sword one last time to fight for them. And the gods were so moved they made him young again for just one day so he could win that final battle. I mean, how incredible is that?
It's like that flame he used against the Hydra. It really is the perfect metaphor for his entire life, isn't it? He was the cauterizing flame that sealed the wounds and made Hercules' impossible tasks possible. And he was the warm, protective light that looked after the hero's family, long after Hercules himself was gone.
So you see, the real story of Hercules isn't about a lone hero at all. It's the story of an extraordinary partnership. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? If we can forget someone so completely essential to the story of our greatest, most famous hero, who else have we forgotten? Who else is waiting in the shadows of history?